Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're exploring the top 5 controversial theories that could reshape your understanding of the Dark Lord. Imagine if Voldemort had a relationship with Bellatrix, or he is a biological father of Harry. These theories challenge the very essence of his character, suggesting everything from secret alliances to unexplored magical abilities. Whether you're a Gryffindor, Slytherin, or just love a good magical debate, get ready to dive deep into the most intriguing and debated aspects of Voldemort's character. Hey guys, my is AR Pitt and you watching Certified Potterheads. Before we start, if new in this channel, please subscribe us for more amazing Harry Potter content and don't forget to like this video. Thank you. Number 1. Voldemort is Harry's father. The theory that Voldemort could be Harry Potter's father is indeed a controversial and widely debated idea within some circles of Harry Potter fandom. This theory typically explores the possibility that there could be a connection between Voldemort and Harry beyond just adversaries, potentially through some form of familial relation or unexpected backstory. The answer to which would be no, it doesn't make any sense at all. Why? Because Harry Potter wouldn't be Harry Potter. There is no Harry Potter, therefore no Harry Potter story. And even if you posit that Harry was given up for adoption to the Potters at birth, then why would Harry look like James Potter and have Lily's eyes? How would Voldemort not know that his own son was born on July 31st? Why would the prophecy say that Harry would be born to people who had thrice defied the Dark Lord, not born to the Dark Lord? It would be a completely different story altogether. Therefore, it's a ludicrous premise for a what-if scenario. Despite some superficial similarities because they are playing with the same mythic archetypes, Harry Potter is not Star Wars. Darth Voldemort is not Harry Potter's secret father in any AU version of the original story. Even J.K. Rowling herself was aware of the speculation before she published the final Potter book, Deathly Hallows. She said anyone who seriously thought this was possible had watched too much Star Wars. Such theories often arise in fan communities as a way to explore alternative narratives or add complexity to existing characters. While they can be intriguing for discussion and creative exploration in fanfiction, they remain speculative interpretations rather than confirmed elements of the official Harry Potter universe. Number 2. Voldemort is a vampire. Regarding the theory that Voldemort is a vampire, here are some points that fans might use to support or discuss this idea, even though it's not canonically supported. First thing, Voldemort's obsession with immortality could be compared to the vampire's desire to live forever. Both seek ways to extend their lives beyond natural limits. Second, Voldemort is described as having a pale, snake-like appearance with red eyes. This could be reminiscent of vampire characteristics, such as pale skin and blood-red eyes. Third, Voldemort is so feared in the wizarding world that people avoid saying his name, much like vampires in folklore are feared and their names avoided. Fourth, while Voldemort uses Horcruxes to tether his soul to the mortal world, vampires in some interpretations are linked to their own life force in a similar way. Fifth, some vampires in folklore have the ability to communicate with animals, which could be loosely connected to Voldemort's ability to speak Parseltongue and his affinity with snakes. Fans who oppose the theory that Voldemort is a vampire typically point out several key reasons why this interpretation doesn't align with the established Harry Potter canon. Voldemort's character and motivations are primarily focused on dark magic and his quest for power and immortality through Horcruxes. This aligns with wizardry and magical practices within the Harry Potter universe, rather than vampirism. While Voldemort has a distinctive appearance with pale skin and red eyes, these traits are explained within the context of his transformation and use of dark magic, not as indicators of vampirism. Introducing vampires as a significant aspect of Voldemort's character would require significant reimagining of his backstory and motivations, which would deviate from the cohesive narrative established throughout the series. The Harry Potter series often explores themes of good versus evil, identity, and the consequences of one's choices. Introducing vampirism as a central aspect of Voldemort's character could dilute or distract from these themes, as it introduces a different genre element not present in Rowling's magical world. Overall, Fans who oppose the theory argue that while it's intriguing to explore alternative interpretations of characters, it's important to stay true to the canon as established by the author. They prefer to focus on analyzing and discussing elements that are explicitly supported by the text and Rowling's own statements about her creations. Number 3. Voldemort's Horcruxes were unnecessary. Some fans argue that Voldemort's obsession with Horcruxes was excessive. They propose that alternative magical methods or protective spells could have granted him immortality without the risks associated with splitting his soul. The theory that Voldemort's Horcruxes were unnecessary is an interesting one that challenges a fundamental aspect of the Harry Potter series. Here are some points that proponents of this theory might use to support their argument. Some argue that Voldemort could have achieved immortality through other means within the magical world, such as through powerful protective spells, potions, or rituals that don't involve splitting his soul into pieces. They might suggest that his obsession with Horcruxes was excessive or misguided. Fans might speculate on alternative magical methods that could achieve similar effects to Horcruxes, allowing Voldemort to anchor his soul to the mortal world without creating separate objects. This could include ancient spells or rituals mentioned in wizarding lore. Creating Horcruxes involves significant risks. As seen in the series, each Horcrux makes the creator vulnerable and susceptible to destruction, as demonstrated by the lengths Harry and his allies go to in order to locate and destroy them. Proponents of the theory might argue that Voldemort underestimated these risks or overestimated the necessity of creating multiple Horcruxes. The theory might delve into Voldemort's psyche and motivations, suggesting that his creation of Horcruxes was driven more by paranoia or a desire for excess power rather than a true necessity for achieving immortality. However, there are strong counterarguments against this theory as well. Horcruxes are explicitly described in the series as a dark and powerful form of magic that anchors the creator's soul to the mortal world, making them extremely difficult to kill. Without Horcruxes, Voldemort would have been more vulnerable to permanent death, as his soul would not have been protected by multiple anchors. J.K. Rowling established in the series that Voldemort's fear of death and desire for immortality were driving forces behind his quest for Horcruxes. This element of the plot is crucial to understanding his character and motivations throughout the series. The existence of Horcruxes serves as a central plot device that drives the conflict and resolution in the Harry Potter series. Removing this aspect would fundamentally alter the narrative structure and character development, impacting the story's coherence and thematic elements. In conclusion, while the theory that Voldemort's Horcruxes were unnecessary offers an intriguing perspective, it challenges established canon and thematic elements of the Harry Potter series. Fans and scholars often enjoy exploring such theories for their thought-provoking nature, but they ultimately acknowledge the importance of Horcruxes in shaping the series' plot and characters as intended by J.K. Rowling. Number 4. Voldemort is secretly a good guy. The theory that Voldemort is a good guy is a highly unconventional interpretation within the Harry Potter fandom. Here's an attempt to outline this theory. Fans who supporters of this theory argue that Voldemort's actions, though appearing evil, were driven by a desire to create a better world. They might suggest that his extreme measures were necessary to bring about significant change in the wizarding society. Some proponents propose that Voldemort was manipulated or influenced by dark forces or external factors beyond his control. This could include his upbringing, exposure to dark magic, or even manipulation by others within the wizarding community. It's theorized that Voldemort believed in a vision of wizarding dominance not out of a desire for power, but to protect the magical community from persecution or to correct perceived injustices against wizards and witches. Supporters of this theory may argue that Voldemort had moments of doubt or regret, suggesting that he could have potentially been redeemed if circumstances had been different. Nope. I don't know why some Harry Potter fans are trying to make the Death Eaters and Voldemort as good just because Snape joined them. Death Eaters weren't some sort of breakfast club and Voldemort wasn't the teacher from Dead Poets Society. Only if you are a violent, racist, genocidal, egomaniacal lunatic. There are loads of people who think Hitler was a good guy too. I don't care if they demonize James, Lily, Dumbledore, Harry just to make Snape look good because they were fictional characters, but Voldemort and Death Eaters were a clear reference to Hitler and Nazis, as confirmed by J.K. Rowling herself. Trying to make them look good by demonizing what Harry, Dumbledore and Ministry did is like sympathizing Nazis based on how bad Churchill, Stalin were. Nope, it's not cool to sympathize Death Eaters when their choice of ruling was a genocide of those whom they consider unworthy. Nothing good comes after Nazis/Hitler weren't that bad. Honestly, it brings a paradox. If Death Eaters and Voldemort were good, then Snape betrayed them and became a bad guy in the end. Then why are they worshipping a character who backstabbed the righteous side and sided with the bad ones? Voldemort offered Lily Potter her life due to Snape's request. Voldemort, who had never given an enemy anything less than death, chose to give her a choice as a favor to a subordinate. In doing so, he sowed the seeds of his own redemption. When he took Harry's blood to rebuild his body, he unwittingly took into himself a shadow of Lily's sacrifice. This wisp of goodness within him meant that, had he chosen the path of remorse, he would have healed more completely than anyone would have thought. Of course, if he had understood this, he might never have been Lord Voldemort, and never have killed at all. Number 5. Voldemort and Bellatrix had a romantic relationship. The theory proposing a romantic relationship between Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange is an intriguing speculation within the Harry Potter fandom, despite not being explicitly confirmed in the books or by J.K. Rowling. Here's an exploration of how such a theory might be reasoned and what factors contribute to its popularity. 1. Bellatrix Lestrange is portrayed as utterly devoted and loyal to Voldemort throughout the series. Her dedication borders on obsession, which suggests a deep emotional connection beyond mere loyalty. 2. Voldemort is depicted as someone who craves power and control over others. Bellatrix, with her unwavering loyalty and willingness to do anything for him, might be seen as someone who meets his need for control on an emotional level as well. 3. In some interpretations, Bellatrix's fervent loyalty could be seen as stemming from an emotional or romantic attachment rather than just ideological alignment. Her behavior, such as her extreme reactions when Voldemort is threatened or her disdain for anyone else close to him, like Nagini, can be interpreted through this lens. 4. J.K. Rowling has hinted at complex relationships in the wizarding world beyond what's explicitly stated in the books. While she hasn't confirmed a romantic link between Voldemort and Bellatrix, she has acknowledged the complexity of characters like Bellatrix and the possibility of deep, twisted connections. 5. Many stories use villainous characters in complex, entangled relationships to add depth and intrigue. The dynamic between Voldemort and Bellatrix fits into this trope, offering layers to their characters beyond their roles as antagonists. 6. The theory has gained traction through fanfiction and discussions within the fandom, where fans explore and expand upon relationships and dynamics hinted at in the books. The theory proposing a romantic relationship between Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange is indeed controversial and has faced opposition within the Harry Potter fandom for several reasons. 1. Critics argue that there is no direct evidence in the Harry Potter books or statements from J.K. Rowling herself confirming a romantic relationship between Voldemort and Bellatrix. The books primarily depict Bellatrix's loyalty and devotion to Voldemort as stemming from ideological alignment and a desire for power, rather than romantic love. Two opponents of the theory point out that Bellatrix's obsession with Voldemort can be adequately explained by her fanatical belief in his ideology and her desire to prove her loyalty and worthiness in his eyes. They argue that interpreting her loyalty as romantic love diminishes her agency and character complexity. 3. Voldemort is depicted as a deeply manipulative and cruel character who views others, including Bellatrix, as tools for his own ends. Critics argue that portraying any form of romantic relationship between them romanticizes or normalizes abusive dynamics, which are already present in their interactions. For some, fans prefer interpretations that focus on the complex power dynamics and psychological motivations between Voldemort and Bellatrix without romanticizing their relationship. They emphasize the themes of loyalty, obsession, and power dynamics as explored in the books. 5. Many fans find the idea of a romantic relationship between Voldemort and Bellatrix unsettling or inappropriate given the characters' roles as villains in the series. They believe it detracts from the main narrative and themes of the Harry Potter series, which primarily focus on heroism, friendship, and the battle between good and evil. While the theory of a romantic relationship between Voldemort and Bellatrix has its proponents within the fandom who find it intriguing for its potential to deepen character motivations, it also faces strong opposition from those who argue against romanticizing abusive or manipulative dynamics between characters, particularly given the context of the story and the ethical considerations involved. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.